What's up, everybody? This is my first unboxing, and we're going to unbox the Nest 2 thermostat, which I picked up a couple days ago, and I've been waiting until the house was quiet before I did the unboxing, but I'm jonesing to get this thing hooked up, so let's get the unboxing done. Saw one of these about a year or so ago, I think when the first generation came out, and I wanted to get one for quite a while. One of my friends picked one up a few months ago, first generation I believe, and he loves it. So I thought that we would get Nest 2. Look at this puppy. There's been a lot of videos out on the Nest 2 and the Nest 1 that I've seen, so probably don't need another video out there. So this is pretty sweet. When I went to Best Buy and saw this for the first time in person, I was really impressed with how small it actually is. On the videos that I've seen, I got the impression that it was a lot larger. In fact, the box itself seemed to me like it was bigger in the videos that I had seen. So what I wanted to do was kind of show some comparisons as to how big it really is compared to some other items, regular household items. So let me grab something real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So as an example, here's an apple, here's an egg, and here's a quarter. So I'm going to give you an idea. I'll kind of move these into place. It's going to have to sit right here, so it's pretty small. I'm pretty impressed actually with how small it is compared to these guys. I know that most apples don't really have an average size anymore. You can get some pretty huge apples, but the eggs are pretty standard. This is a large double A, I guess is what they call it, size wise. Quarter, just to get an idea, and we'll get to the rest of the unboxing here. I'm sure that any of you that have seen any of these videos have probably seen everything that comes in it, but I'll go through real quick and show you what else they've got. So the packaging is really nice. Kind of this little egg crate, cardboard, recyclable packaging. And little envelope. It's got your instructions, concierge service. I'm going to be installing mine myself after everything that I've seen online. It looks like it's a pretty simple process to put one of these, to hook one of these up. So I think I'll be able to do it myself. Couple screws to come with it, and then of course the awesome screwdriver that they provide, which is really actually pretty cool. And here's the mounting base, which is a little different than the Nest 1. The Nest 1, these were straight up and down. The level, I believe, was on the top, and now it's on the bottom on the Nest 2. And then the mounting plate, which I am not going to use. I'd like to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. And I think this is actually kind of ugly because it gives the same look almost as what's on there now, the old boxy square thermostat, which we're all used to seeing. This plate, I believe, is if your thermostat is mounted to like a light box or an electrical box. You would use this to mount it. I do not have that as far as I know. And then the screws that are inside here actually go to this, which I'm not going to use. Let me grab the old thermostat and do a comparison here of the two. So, which would you rather have on your wall? This guy or this guy that we're so used to seeing? This is a Hunter brand, which when we bought it, I think it was right around $70. And I thought it would be really cool because it's got all these cool features on it that you can adjust this and adjust that at different times and whatnot, but it really is confusing to run. It's been kind of a pain to get the settings right on this, whereas the Nest is supposed to learn, and it'll learn your heating preferences. It'll has an adjustment on there where you can set it to where when you're away, it will recognize that and drop. You'll have settings that you set, the high and the low. It'll adjust to those for you automatically. So eventually it's supposed to save you money. For a lot of what I've seen on the videos and the reviews, people have said that they haven't noticed a whole lot of savings quite yet, but it's only been out for a few years really, so I guess we'll see if it will or not. If anything, it's very high quality. It feels like it's not a cheap piece of plastic, that's for sure. It's definitely a lot nicer than the other thermostats as far as looks that are out there right now. So let me show you. I'll move the camera and I'll show you what I've got right now. So currently, this is what it looks like now. This is what I've been using, and this is what it will be replaced with. So I mean, if you can visualize right now, this is definitely going to be a much smaller thermostat, and it looks a lot nicer as well. It's kind of hard to tell, but I am going to have to patch up a couple holes, it looks like. I'll have to take this base plate off and find out exactly what it's going to take, but I think it's just going to be a couple holes is all I'm going to have to fill. So the first process that I'm sure you've seen in the other videos, is that we'll take all of these wires off and tag them with some stickers that it comes with. And I counted the last time I checked, when I checked compatibility, it's got 5 wires in here, but I do think I've got a jumper. It will not be required on the new Nest unit. So basically it'll be, I believe, 4 wires that I'll hook into this. I'm going to go through and label these guys before I take this plate off. Then we'll take this plate off, and I'll start that process right now. Okay, so Nest has made it really nice. They provide in the instruction manual, this is actually the installation guide, they provide in here not only this screwdriver, but a set of stickers that will match up with the wires that you've got here. You just label them off, and so when you take this off, they'll all be labeled. You know exactly where they're going to go on the new nest plate, right? So let's start that process. I'm going to have to. The really nice thing about this it actually fits.
You've got mail.
Oh, I've got mail. This one here, the red one, is the jumper, I believe. Yes. That's, like I say, that's not going to be necessary. But I'm just going to unscrew these guys and get it ready. So I'll fast forward through this as I do this. And I actually hooked this guy up, this thermostat. We had an old one that came with the home. And one thing I forgot to do, which I really need to go do, is shut off the power to my unit. And I better do that now before I start to get any further into this. I know some people have shut it off, other people haven't shut it off, but I would rather not take a chance and blow a fuse. So I'm going to go do that right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so my breaker box, I had two fuses to turn off. One of them was for the furnace and one of them was for the AC, and I just shut both of those down. Everything in here should be all the power should be shut off to the wires here. So let's get started on this. I almost forgot to label the yellow one as I took it off of here, and this one actually went to, I believe, Y1. And one actually good thing that I did, this was a while ago, I took a picture, which is a really good idea to do right at the beginning. And see, this kind of saved me just now. So I wasn't sure if I took Y1 or Y2. I was pretty sure it was Y1 because that's the screw that's loosened. But in my picture, you can actually see, and hopefully you can see that on camera, that it was in a Y1. So this worked out really great. A good idea to do this right from the very beginning. And in fact, when you first verify if this unit will work in your system, you go to their site, Nest site, and there's a compatibility link that you can click on, and you'll plug in what wires you have plugged in to your unit now, and it will tell you if the Nest is going to be compatible with your system, which is really nice. So I actually took this picture of what everything that was hooked up, and then took the camera or the phone into the other room and was able to look on here to see what was wired and if it was compatible. And as far as their system showed, this wire setup is compatible with their system. So we'll move on to labeling these, so that one is Y1 or Y1. So let's take this off. And then take out green, which that one was just G. And the next one is a blue one, which my original unit did not use. So that's not even hooked up to anything right now. And then there I've got my jumper. My jumper is hooked up to RH is this wire here, but it looks like RH and RC, what is that? RCR were jumpered. And from what they're saying in the instructions, you don't need that jumper. So this will actually just be RH. Which, oh, there's RH. I was going to say, they don't have an RH sticker, but it's the very first one. And the last one is W1. So that anymore. This kind of work is really kind of a pain, seeing as I don't have my bifocals, which my next set of glasses I'm going to need. Okay, so now that's done. The jumper is still hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there just as kind of a reference if I ever need to hook this unit back up. I may want to remember how those were hooked up, right? So the holes are going to be filled up later. Right now I'm going to hook the unit up. I'll come back and I'll putty these up, and I'm in the process now. I got to take a paint sample over to the paint store so that they can match the paint, because we do not have any paint in the house. I know. So fortunately, one of the videos that I just watched was an unboxing. Somebody, they had cut out quite a big old chunk. Unfortunately, I don't have that problem. This is just going to take a little bit of spackle here and here. The unit actually might cover this one up, and I may only have to do this one here, which isn't too bad. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to cover one of them, but I don't know if you can see here. I've got a little bit of a chip here. I mean, I might as well, when I go through and spackle this and putty this, repaint it, I'll hit this one as well. Just take the unit off of the wall for a second and get those fixed. In fact, I may just do that now before I mount everything up. Might be the best way to go. In fact, I'll go run and get the paint sample, get my stuff, come back and finish the video up eventually after I put fix these holes, and we'll get everything hooked up. Fortunately, it's not too cold right now in the house, and I do have a couple hours that I can go ahead and get that part spackled up. But I just think, from what was there to what's going to be here now, I mean, Come on, what looks better? That or this old thing? It's gonna look a lot nicer. So I think what I'm gonna do, all the other videos that I've seen, people have actually just mounted this and done this later, but I think I'm going to wait and see if I can't get the paint matched. Get this spackled up right now, get it painted, and have it done with. So I'll sign off for now, come back in a little bit, finish the video when I'm done. I just wanted to make a side note here that on the other videos that I've seen, I've noticed that the Nest screwdriver that comes with the other ones that I noticed had a little cap here. This would pop off, and inside there's 4 other sizes of screwdrivers, Phillips and standard. Well, this one only comes with the one, and so you've got your Phillips on one end and then your standard screwdriver on the other end, which I was surprised this was actually small enough to take off or unscrew the little teeny Phillips screws that came with my original unit. So I just wanted to make that as a side note, that was something that I did notice. I don't know if that was with the Nest 2, because I don't remember the other videos. It seemed like that all of them came with the screwdriver, that the top or the top of it popped off. This little cap had 4 other sizes of a different size of screwdrivers in there. So just to be aware, it looks like maybe the newer units only have this type of a setup, which is fine. I mean, I can't imagine that you would need anything different than just those 2 anyway. One less thing to get lost and to get broken. So anyway, we'll continue with the rest of this video once I get all of the spackle, the paint matched. I'll show you what I'm doing as far as the paint. I had another piece of wall upstairs that I've got a hole in that I need to repair as well. And so what I did is I cut a larger piece out so that we could get this matched, and then I'll also have to match the texture as well. So hopefully I can take this into Lowe's or the paint store and they can get a match out of this piece of. If not, I've got another piece here as well. So hopefully I can get all of this completed today. Not the big hole, but at least the little holes that I've got to cover up for this old unit here. There's only the 2. But it looked like the unit that I had before actually made 4 little dimple holes or something in my wall as well. So I'm going to cover all those up, repaint it, and then I'll install this fresh with no other holes around it. Again, they do offer what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. So rather than putting this up, I mean, I just don't think that that's very attractive, considering, you know, it was a square unit that was there before. Let's just put this up and it'll be a lot nicer. I think that's the way that they're really meant to be. So anyway, hopefully we can get it done today and get it installed. And fortunately it's not too cold today, so with the heat off for a couple hours we should be alright and not freeze everybody out of the house. Okay guys, this is a couple weeks after I got this installed. I actually got it completed the day that I started the video, so it was later that day. It's taken me a while to get around to doing this last part. I just wanted to show you it on the wall now. I finished up covering the holes that I spackled over with some of this wall texture. The closest I could find was this one, which was an orange peel, and I think I set it to a medium texture. Now, as you can see, the paint wasn't able to match exactly because with the texture of the wall, they weren't able to match the sample that I brought into them exactly, so we had to actually match it with just taking the piece of wall that I took in from another room and match it to some of their paint chips that they had there. So we got a pretty close match, but I just want to show you this too. So what looks better, this big clunker here, which is what was there before, or this. This is a lot sharper and a lot cleaner, I think. Also, I was going to let you see another part here, just a sec. I had to go pull the box out of the garage. I put this away. So this is what it would have been like if I would have not patched the holes. I just think that this looks a lot cleaner, don't you? Looks a lot better, a lot sharper, even though this doesn't quite match, and it's hard to tell because with this shadow right here that's causing it, this looks a little bit darker and then this looks a little bit darker too, but the paint line is actually right here, comes down a little bit here, so it's very little. And it's not too bad actually. I think that looks pretty sharp. But appreciate you watching the video. Hope that it helped anybody that was interested in seeing kind of comparisons as to how this looks size wise. That was kind of my thing that I noticed the most was size difference. It actually is a lot smaller than what I had expected it to be. So anyway, hope you enjoy this video. Try to put some more box openings again sometime, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.